So today's exercise is going to be standing. So if you haven't done anything with your body quite yet, just do a little bit of bend the knees and fold over. Just kind of stretch the legs a little bit just so you know how your legs feel today. And because we don't want to go too far, because we're going to take a forward fold where your legs are apart, and I don't want you to go too far. So as long as you take something really simple, a really simple pose where you can kind of feel how your hamstrings are doing today, that awareness keeps you safe. So we're going to start with what is called goddess squats. You're going to take your feet out a little wider than hip distance apart and bend the knees. So my knees are going to point wherever it feels most comfortable. If they're pointing here, that means that my toes need to point the same direction. So whatever direction my kneecap is pointing to, that's the direction my toes need to point to. I don't want to have my knees pointed here and my toes trying to point out more to the side. That's going to injure my knees. So that's the main thing here. It's okay if this is where you're at. If your hips aren't very flexible, that's okay. You can be here. But if you're doing that, that means that your toes are pointed the same direction. So I'll just show you just to make sure this makes sense, because it is important. My knees are here, my toes point there. My knees are here, I can rotate my toes out. But they need to be pointing the same direction. So goddess squat, go ahead and sink down into your goddess squat, whatever feels most comfortable for you. We're going to take our arms out to the side and bend the arms into cactus, like we did in the last video. You're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, feel the outer edges of your feet pressing into the floor, so the pinky toe side of your foot is really pressing into your floor. Inhale, lengthen, and then you're going to exhale, let the right elbow sink down to your right knee, kind of the thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine up, exhale, opposite way. So you're going back and forth. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold to the side. Make sure you're using your breath. So as you inhale, feel that it creates more space between the vertebrae and your spine. And as you exhale, pull the belly button in so it feels more natural to fold. And if you're curious, just try it doing the opposite. So inhale as you're folding, and exhale as you come back up. It just feels less helpful. When you get tired, as soon as the legs start to get too fatigued where you feel like you can't be careful and make sure that the placement is proper, straighten the legs, come out of it, take a break, shake it out. And then if you want to go into it again, you can. You don't have to. But I'll show you it one more time just to make sure, and I'll show you it from this side so you can see. So bending into your goddess squat cactus. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. I'm pressing into my pinky toes. I feel my knees pressing back to the sides. My toes are pointing the same direction as my knees. From here, you're going to straighten the legs, let the toes point more forward. They don't have to be straight forward, it's up to you, but they shouldn't be way out to the side. And we're going to take that forward fold. So starting really simple. If you have blocks, that's great, grab them. If you don't, find some books or boxes or just go up to a chair or something. There's a lot of ways you can make this work. You're going to inhale the arms out to the side and exhale, reaching the head forward and down, you come to a fold. So I'll show you from the side. I don't want to just kind of sink down. I want it to be very deliberate. So as I inhale, I lengthen the spine, I reach my head forward. I'm pressing into the outside, the pinky toe side of my foot. My heels are digging into the floor. My feet are really, really active. And then you come down to the fold. While you're here, what's nice is you can use whatever you need to bring yourself to whatever position feels the most comfortable. Maybe you're able to go down to the floor, that's great too. But it's about you and what feels best and trying to help yourself feel better. So don't push yourself. Any amount of pain means you're not in a helpful position. It means you're in a dangerous position. So use whatever you have around you to keep yourself safe. Now feel yourself putting more weight into your feet. So when we've got our hands on something, it's easy to put more weight forward. Take the weight back into your feet. Make sure all 10 toes are pressing into the floor, especially the pinky toe side. Because we have an arch in our instep, it's easy to kind of collapse there. So make sure that you don't do that. And then press into your heels. And then gently take the spine. You can roll up the spine, or you can just extend, shooting your head forward and up. It's up to you. Then with that, if you want to go a step further and try to turn it into something for your shoulders too, roll the shoulders back and down, extend the hands behind you to lace the fingers together. Make sure weight is evenly spread between your feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, reach the head forward, and take this fold. So it's the same thing, but you've got, rather than using a prop, you can take a bend in the knees. You've got the shoulders rolled back and down. So rather than letting them sink toward your neck or toward your ears, press them back, press the chest open. Pull the belly button in, pull the ribs in. And this is Prasarita. It's just a wide-legged forward fold. And you have the option to have your hands there or down on some sort of prop, down on the floor. It's totally up to you. But those are a few different options to give you more opening in the hips, more lengthening in the hamstrings, and then a little bit for the shoulders and the